and last night's pheasant. Will Sholmes have a bite this time? We shall see. I'm home. Hey, what's up?
About time you got here. We've been waiting ages, Otto.
What are you doing with that colourful piece of history?
It's a party, innit? It's gonna go off with a bang. I mean, fireworks, ideally. But when you ain't got fire, smoke's the next best thing, ain't it?
There's a girl on Fresno Street who could help you with that, I think. Are we encouraging her? Oh, character development.
Right, I'll remember that.
What? You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak.
You really must hear this. It's quite the most extraordinary thing. I assure you, it will defy your expectations. Take down every detail now, Mikotoba.
The world-famous great detective regaling his partner with the tale of his adventure. A sight to behold.
Would you care to hazard a guess? Where do you suppose the fiendish runaway had concealed himself? Would you believe? Inside the trunk I found abandoned in his cabin.
I would believe it, yes.
I say, Mikotoba, I detect not a hint of surprise.
Humour me!
I wonder why that is, Maybe because I was there at the scene as well, Sholmes. What? You were? That's why the deuce didn't you say so before?
Not quite the sight I was expecting to behold, but still, it's hard not to feel privileged to see it. Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Professor Mikotoba. I'm finally back from the Bailey.
And not a moment too soon. A feast prepared by Iris and Mr. Sato awaits.
I must say, I haven't seen Susato looking so happy in a very long time.
Oh, Bruno, there you are. Dinner's on the table, everyone. Please, do come and take a seat. Time to fill me boots. Goodness, is that really true, Gino? Yep, losing me copper's club and going back to what I know best. It's a diver's life for me. You're really leaving the police force? But why, Ginny?
Well, the boss ain't around no more, so...
And anyway, no matter how hard I try, Reaper ain't never gonna accept a diver turned dick, is he?
Well, people can change, you know. You said this last time, back in case 3. Ah yes, that reminds me. I rather thoughtfully offered to relieve the bailiff of this now defunct piece of evidence. It's the inspector's pocket watch, and the crown has been reattached. The watch was his pride and joy, a symbol of his great achievements at Scotland Yard. For 10 years without fail, it measured every second of the man's remarkable career.
But now, it's stopped.
Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Gregson's career alive. By taking on the great responsibility of winding that watch every single day again.
Yes, someone with an equally fierce detective spirit. It's gotta be me! There ain't no one else! Quite right. I mean, after all, the boss was... Well, he was my boss! Jenny! Yes, he was.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah, I made you a promise and all, didn't I, Iris? I'd become a proper detective one day and track down your old man.
Oh!
Alright then, it's decided. I'll do it. And I swear, I'll find your dad and bring him back kicking and screaming.
I'm not entirely sure that would be appropriate.
I'd like you to forget that promise, Ginny. Eh?
Iris.
Well, obviously, I've always wondered about who my real daddy is. Of course I have. I wanted to know where I've come from. I thought it might tell me something about myself.
Who is speeding? Are you kidding me? Anyway,
I've caused such a lot of trouble trying to find out. For so many people. Hurley, Bruno, Professor Mickey.
no, not at all, my dear. Really, owe no apology to anyone.
Well, anyway, I've decided to give up on it because I finally realized my daddy is the greatest in the world. I don't think it matters what his name is or where he's from. Don't you agree, Hurley?
With every word, Iris.
Thank you, Hurley. Thank you, Daddy.
I think we could talk about. Yes, Sholmes? I think I ought to express my gratitude to you. Oh. For 6 years, you and I solved many a mystery together. And during that time, I remember countless expressions of gratitude for our good services. But a moment ago, I heard the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all. And I should never have to experience it. Were it not for you. Oh, you old softy, Sholmes. I must confess, it's a weight off my mind to hear you say it. Well then, I think this calls for a lengthy violin recital, wouldn't you say?
Oh, well, I think we'll go cold. That's the only problem. Maybe next week, Hurley?
Are you sure a week is long enough, Iris? Even amidst the most troubling of cases, even reeling from the most shocking of revelations, returning in the evening to this suite of rooms, there's always warmth and happiness to be had. The home of the world's greatest detective, and my home too, of my greatest family. Aww. This attic room has been my home and office for almost a year now. I've certainly had some unforgettable experiences whilst I've lived here. But I think now, the time has come. Time to bid this place farewell. Naruhodo. Oh, Professor! Are you alone? I didn't hear any sound from Susato's room. Yes, Susato-san went out after dinner. She took a carriage. Something about an important matter she needed to take care of. Oh, I see. Oh, I wanted to thank you for what you did earlier. Oh? With Iris, I mean. When the subject of her father came up. Lord Clint von Zieks. I made up my mind many years ago never to tell her who her real father was. It's what was agreed with Genshin after all. Lord Clint von Zieks' final wishes before he died, you mean? Yes. I've had to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Calling Susato back to Japan 6 months ago, for example. Huh. That's why, huh? When I read Soseki-san's report about his final days in London, my heart nearly stopped. He'd stumbled across the crux of that terrible case. The dog's collar. The description of the Baskerville insignia left me in no doubt. Baskerville. If you decided to investigate that insignia, sooner or later you would have made the connection to the Von Ziegses. And to make matters worse, Susato knew of the unpublished story as well. A story that Iris had written based on my notes from the time. Yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Exactly. It was a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of a dog being used as a murder weapon. A dog with the Baskerville family emblem around its neck. Armed with those two clues, I feared you and Susato might arrive at the truth. So I invented that story about having collapsed to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once. That was quite a stunt. Or in aid of halting any investigations you and she might have been contemplating. I see. Naruhodo. Anyway. Well, something I've never understood is why Susato-san came across that manuscript in Japan, though. You know, Iris is the Hound of the Baskerville story, I mean. Sholmes sent it to me. That was before Susato left Japan. He was very troubled about what should be done about it, you see. I read it and carelessly left it on my desk. Which is where Susato came across it, of course. It was the only case Sholmes and I ever pursued that I didn't record in meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that young Iris had pieced together so much of it from my paltry notes. Sholmes and I discussed the matter and decided that we couldn't allow the story's publication. At that point, I returned the manuscript by post to Sholmes for safekeeping. So you did all that to stop Iris from finding the truth about her father? That's right, because Sholmes had told me how astute she'd become. However, having witnessed events in court today, I must say my opinion has somehow shifted. I think at some point in the future, the time will come for Iris to know the truth. And when it does, well, I believe it will be for the best. I think so too. Actually, Professor, I wanted to talk to you about something too. Judging from that expression, I'd say you've come to a decision, have you? Yes, I have. I will be returning with you to Japan. I picked the worst day to record. Are you serious? Life of a YouTuber, that's what I get. Anyway, are you quite sure? I'm really only here as a substitute for Kazuma. But he's here in Britain now, as originally intended. Hokum student Naruhodo doesn't really have a right to stay, I think. I see. Looking back now, when I first arrived here in February, But becoming a lawyer just seemed to be the way things turned out. With Kazuma, Susato-san, Mr. Sholmes all gently pushing me in that direction. Spent the best part of a year immersed in this world, but always aware of a seed of doubt inside me. Until today. Standing in the courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind. Yes. I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client, and I was sure I could see the trial through. And at the end of it, I finally realized. No one else chose this path for me. I chose it myself. I'm so proud of you. The path of a defense lawyer, eh? Yes, that's what I am now. That's what I'll be going back to with you to Japan as. And that's the path I'll be following for the rest of my life. Well, it sounds like you've made quite a resolution there. I have! Very well then. I will say, it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangements for your return first thing tomorrow, but I don't imagine we'll depart for a few days. Not with the symposium having been cancelled now. Such a shame. Oh, never mind. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. Well then, I bid you good night. Oh, hello. Susato-san! I just wanted to let you know I'm back. Did you, hear what your father and I were discussing? I'm sorry, I did, yes. I couldn't help but... how much did you hear? From the part about Iris's real father, I think. In other words, from the beginning. So, you've made up your mind. You'll return to Japan and continue working as a defense lawyer. Yes. I'm sorry. I really should have consulted with you about it. I did want to earlier this evening, actually, but you'd already gone out. Oh no, that's quite alright. I already knew that's what you'd decide, Naruhodo-san. You did? Susato-san? Oh, yes? I suppose this means it has to be farewell soon. I suppose. Quite the assumption. He'll be a great help to Kazuma going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. He'll certainly benefit greatly having a brilliant judicial assistant at his side. I'll do my very best. I wish I could say it. I just can't. I can't ask her to come with me. After all, she was always supposed to be coming to Britain as Kazuma's assistant. It's growing late. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today. Oh, yes. You're right. Before I retire, let me just say one more time. You really were quite splendid in court today. So if you ask me, anyone who thinks of you as a substitute or a locum should be ashamed of themselves. Is that including Natsume? Oh, Susato-san. Thank you. Three days later. Let's see. I can't believe this day's finally come. You're really leaving them, Bruno? I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. I don't know what I'll do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea. I wish you weren't going. But you have to come back and visit. Say you will! Of course. I promise. Well, it was a very brief reunion, but it was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while at least, it felt like old times. Yes, I suppose on reflection, there's something to be said for it. Having a little fun once in a while. I'll just go and say goodbye to the professor as well, I think. Alright, Iris, you do that.
Susato-san. I've just checked, Naruhodo-san. Your luggage is already on board. Such a beautiful morning. Perfect for embarking on a journey, isn't it?
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me. And give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
Actually, I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
Sorry?
Ryunosuke.
Kazuma! What are you doing here?
Do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
Thanks. To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital. But,
Well, we'll have to save that for another time. Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
Me too. But, we're both defense lawyers, so,
I'm going to become a prosecutor. I'll stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long, I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
Oh, I see.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
I'd like you to take care of this for me for a while.
Karima? Why?
Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me. The demon that reared its ugly head that day. It was only for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector. But it was unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me. Until the end of my days. While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor.
So, that's what you've resolved to do, is it?
Until I'm ready to face the demon within me. To slay it once and for all. I leave this in your care. If you'll take it.
Of course I will. I'll keep it by my side. Always. Until we meet again, then. You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
Naruhodo-san? The path you're going to follow from now on. I wonder if I might follow it at your side, unless I'd be a burden.
What? I mean, I would very much like you to come with me. But aren't you...
You're so predictable, Ryunosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
You mean you knew about this?
It was the evening after Lord Van Zeek's trial came to an end. She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Or when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba?
So, you'd go with Ryunosuke back to Japan?
Yes. I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interests like this.
Coming here especially to tell me. You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you? Well, what are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion. I worry that perhaps I'd be a burden to him.
He's just as much of a stickler for etiquette as you are. He'd never say anything before he was asked. But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
Of course.
Susato-san.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you by my side, no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
Oh, no, not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me.
Ah!
Stop!
What's wrong?
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
It's all right. There's no need to worry. As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
You had no choice in the matter!
Your fine judicial assistant has everything in hand as always, I see.
Always prudent.
Bruno! Your ship's about to leave!
Ooh.
Time to go then. Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma, draw your sword. One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await as a lawyer.
I've been waiting to hear you say that, partner.
Don't forget me then, Kazuma.
As if I could, Ryunosuke.
And Mr. Sholmes, thank you so much. I'm very much indebted to you.
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Quite. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude. Especially when I visit you in your country. What? The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact,
world is far smaller than most folk realize. Well, I'd be delighted if you came to Japan one day.
Oh yes, would welcome you with open arms, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, that sounds wonderful! I can't wait!
Then don't
In that
wait.
case, let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows. And that brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain. A peculiar twist of fate brought me halfway around the world those many months ago. But that was just the start of my journey. Who knows where fate will lead me next? Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London. And when we're together again, no doubt the first words I'll hear will be, "Come, the game is afoot."
The ship, with our friends from the east, sailed steadily towards the distant horizon. But Sholmes' face was alight with joy. The times may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson. We have but to gently
We close our eyes,
and
we are with our companions once more. So, I do just that. And when I do, I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
Objection!
Until we meet again, Bruno.
I've been thoroughly inundated with inquiries about my remote cinematograph since that day, but I'm no purveyor of electrical goods, and what of the promised close court secrecy? Anyway, I've decided an absence from London is in order, a sojourn in distant climes. The Empire of Japan, perhaps? I understand that wardrobe class incurs no charge whatsoever. Oh, let's go! Breaking the law!
A little note to Hurley the other day. It just said thank you for everything, Daddy, and it made Hurley cry. I gave him some lotion I invented as well to dye his hair red safely.
Still going on about that.
He said it might make him cry too, so he'd rather not use it.
Huh. Still struggling with rent? Are we all? Good luck with that. Not much we can do. In those days, when I was known as the Reaper, I felt your presence at my side. Once, unable to bear the burden of that grim pseudonym, I even retired from the courtroom. Despite everything, I still wear your prosecutor's badge with pride. The darkness that once beset me is no more, as you too are no more. In the words of a young foreign friend of mine, I must stride forward toward a brighter future. You'll be alright, mate. Still young?
The boss left a note for me, you know. I can read every letter now, A to Z, the whole lot. It's cleared a lot of stuff up. The boss was trying to protect me, see. Well, that's exactly what me and the Chief Inspector Toby are gonna do for Londoners. I only wish I could say how grateful I was before you know. Why did that end on a sad note? I want to see Gina happy.
But wait! Gino, the truth is, I'm not the upstanding fellow you think I am. You might be a diver at heart. It's a good heart. You've reminded me I need to be true to myself. I've got one more job to take care of before it's ta-ta to London town for the foreseeable. Then, I've got to complete your education in the art of detection a la Gregson, as they say. Oh, we'll never get to see that though. That's sad. That's sad.
Ah! Your Excellency! This man is accused of illegal entry to the office of the Minister of Foreign Affairs! Objection! A blank office statement overruled! The Minister has been detained! Who is this cattish defect? And women are forbidden! Really? My friend Susanna Song is in the British courtroom all the time and doing a wonderful job!
Perhaps I should have engaged the services of a regular legal team. Looks like we haven't arrived yet at this point. Oh, but cats are allowed in the courtroom. The hypocrisy. Oh, she's allowed visitors now.
Mama, is it true about Japanese people? Are they experts at filleting corpses?
Yes, they are. Fish corpses on the whole.
I'd like to hone my own filleting skills. You don't mind, do you, Mama?
Yes, I do. I'm not a corpse yet, am I?
No. I'm glad.
Terrifying. Okay. Sushi.
Oh, hello! Here I am again in Great Britain on the invitation of my dear old university friend. He sent me a very nice letter saying he'd show me around now that everything was settled. What have I done? I was so excited I picked a splendid hotel, and now I can't afford the bill. Oh, Barak, come to my rescue again, please! I wish I could just vanish into thin air sometimes.
A new hypothesis, perhaps? We'll see, we'll see.
When I went to make the waxwork impression of the killer in the cemetery, I realized what had happened. But even the witness stand of the highest court in the land, I could never speak of it.
Case they happened.
The Lord Chief Justice and I had struck a bargain, you see. For a faithful reproduction of the visage, there is nothing we to spare would not do.
Questionable. So we're just... okay. Pretty ladies get away with a lot of things. Hello. Oh, you poor thing.
Everyone calls me gossip. I saw jolty little tidbits to pass it by, you know. Everyone calls me a pepino, and I sell at the spaghetti. It's more redder than my head. Everyone, they kill me. No, I cannot do it. This is ridiculous. Oh, Jaylee, how charming. You've made lots of new friends here, I see. Yes, and when we're released, we're all going to strike it rich together. This the guy is John Paggy didn't deserve it. What the fuck? Vigil deserves better.
When I was accepted on the foreign study tour, I knew exactly what path I had to take, and however it might have ended, I knew that I wanted you to see it. I ended up in the dock, as no one would have rather had defending me. Now, thanks to you, there's a new path I want to take. I'm sure we'll meet again in the courtroom, my friend. Until then, I leave Karuma in your care. He wanted us to be his lawyer if he went through with the assassination mission. What the fuck? Is nobody going to talk about this? Okay, but he didn't do anything, right? But like, there was some intention. Anyway, I've made some tea in Naruhodo-san. It's important that you rest while you can. Once we arrive in Japan, you shall be busy establishing your new office. I'm so delighted to be accompanying you. After all, your talents have been recognized by a great detective. Because you really are the greatest of lawyers. A great ace attorney, some might say. Woo! Yes. This has been a great journey indeed. Ah, the Daruma doll has been filled in this game's family photo. When did Kotoba go, actually? I just noticed. Stop speeding! Are you kidding me? Sorry. Anyway, whilst we walk down memory lane, I decided to take this credits opportunity to talk about why this LP came into play. Get it? Because anything I want to say about the characters or the cases, like everything game related, I don't think I can fit into these credits, so I'm going to make a separate video for that. So if you're more interested in that, go check that out whenever I release it. So, this came up, the English localization came out in 2021, right? I played it a couple months after its release. I didn't record anything at the time because I wasn't thinking about doing YouTube back then, so, you know, that's why you're not getting a blind playthrough. Needless to say, I really enjoyed it the first time. The bombs that were dropped. Very joyful. I cannot express how much this game meant to me back then. I was in a really dark place. Look, I'm not going to say too much on the internet, but yeah, needless to say, this game has really brought joy back into my life at the time. And so I played it for a second time. Like, I ended up playing it for the second time because it just lived rent-free in my mind since the first time. Like, but I still didn't record anything because I actually wanted to make like separate videos for this game. Like, I had a lot of thoughts after it, but I think once I got into the second playthrough, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't bode well with video essays, so I decided to scrap that idea. So I was like, by the time this third playthrough came through, this is my third time playing it, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do a let's play, even though this is not my first time, because people tend to like watching first timers play this, but you know what, I'm going to make this a glorified audiobook. Actually, one of my video ideas for DGS, I'm going to call it DGS because that's what I usually call it, which stands for the Japanese title Daigyakkuten Zaiban. For this third playthrough, I wanted to do a fan dub, so I was like, the easiest way to do a fan dub was just to play the whole thing again. But I'm going to do it for YouTube. So yeah, that's why this Let's Play has come to be. Yes! Let's go! Yes, and we can see this gloriousness. Yeah, so some of my reactions might come off. Yeah, I spent the whole game stifling spoilers, like, I didn't want to say anything in case anything I said was interpreted as a spoiler. Oh, hello, Gant. Not explaining that. Anyway, so yeah, this only really worked out as a fan dub. So any unique thoughts I have about the game, again, I will be making a separate video instead. Yeah, because after that video, I'm not making any more DGS related content. Also, wallpaper moment, even though my sword is still broken. But anyway, I saw you. That's all that matters, it's fine. Yeah, so nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. my third time. I hope you enjoyed my voices. Oh, by the way, yeah, I should have made this disclaimer earlier, but I forgot. Yeah, I'm not Japanese or European by any means. I'm not represented whatsoever, so if I botched something up, I apologize. But hey, I had a lot of fun doing all these voices and not sounding like myself because I sound monotonous by default. Yes, let's go! Continuing the Naruhodo legacy. Let's go. And yeah. That is the Great Ace Attorney. The duology. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I'll see you in another video. Bye!